You're perfect, you're beautiful, you look like Linda Evangelista, you're a model.
Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to MsMojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 craziest fights on RuPaul's Drag Race.
I don't need to fight with you. You are picking this fight right now.
I was trying to be cordial with you.
Girl, you had rolls all over the place in the back. It was disgusting.
Back rolls.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most explosive, memorable, and iconic fights from the US edition of RuPaul's Drag Race, All Stars, and Untucked that took place in seasons leading up to and including the year 2020. We will only be including altercations where both parties participated, and we'll be excluding any altercations involving Mama Ru. Now, because we are talking about major events from the show, there might be some minor spoilers ahead. So, do you agree with our picks? Be sure to let us know about it in the comments. All right, start your engines and let's get to it.
Number 20, Willam versus Fifi O'Hara.
I mean, they want people here with talent, not people that are sitting there trying to live through their shoe names and their clothes names.
Talent.
Throughout season 4, Willam and Fifi had their fair share of memorable incidents, but none of them tops the iconic scene in episode 8 when Fifi absolutely went off on Willam and laid all of her thoughts on the table.
You don't have any talent. This is a show for talented people, not people that know how to buy shoes. You should not be here.
Fifi held nothing back and explicitly called Willam a fake talentless rule breaker, all while Willam sat there calmly, waiting for the right moment to drop her iconic line.
Your tone seems very pointed right now.
Willam's energy during the whole ordeal is impeccable, and watching Fifi have a nearly one-sided conversation with herself remains entertaining to this day.
How's that?
Number 19, Farrah Moan versus Valentina.
I've been kind to every single one of you, and I'll continue to be kind towards success.
Can I say something?
Sure, go ahead. Everyone else is.
This wasn't the most overt fight on the show, but the tension between these two was intense during the reunion episode. As soon as Farrah Moan interjected and asked, "Can I say something?" the audience waited with bated breath because we all knew a storm was coming.
We were such close friends, and you literally have not spoken to me in almost 5 months.
Farrah Moan was clearly upset about Valentina's lack of follow-through with their friendship after the competition ended, and she was taking none of Valentina's excuses.
I respect you and love you.
You don't love me.
To be fair, it seemed like Valentina was rubbing everyone the wrong way that day, especially when she won Miss Congeniality.
Fan favorite? Yeah, great. Like, you have a lot of fans, your fans love you. But is it fan favorite or is it congeniality?
If it's fan favorite, then I guess she deserves it.
Number 18, Derrick Barry versus India Farrah.
Hi. Hey, girl.
There's only one queen I don't get along with, and it's India Farrah.
She had got me, girl.
Derrick Barry may have only been on one episode of All Stars 5, but her time on the season was marked by a major feud between her and India Farrah.
India Farrah, this shade is all real.
Things got messy once the two began arguing about a gig at Piranha nightclub that India was apparently kicked off of in favor of Derrick's partner and fellow drag queen Nebraska.
India got fired from Piranha.
I quit Piranha.
If you quit, why do you need to say this establishment will hire anybody now?
Derrick defended herself and accused India of calling Nebraska, quote, a pig in a wig.
Why would I be happy for someone that does a number that disrespects me and puts my name in
That
it? Why
was
would I want to be happy for
after
her?
you called her a pig in a wig.
It was not to her.
Clearly, neither party was willing to spare feelings as the two Las Vegas queens went at it.
You're two-faced, and I don't with two-faced people.
Number 17, Alyssa Edwards versus Fifi O'Hara. Fifi O'Hara came back to the workroom for All Stars 2 to prove that she was no longer a villain.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Watch out, girls, this bitch is back.
Unfortunately, she didn't exactly get the redemption arc she'd been hoping for.
And can I be completely honest? I am sick of hearing them say, you can wear shit on stage, but it's okay because you're Alyssa.
As the season went on, Fifi became frustrated by what she perceived as favoritism from the judges towards Alyssa for her Alyssa-isms. This came to a head after Alyssa's first elimination.
All right, you can play the victim, go ahead.
Being a victim of what, girl? I just sat right there and heard everything you had to say. And you didn't say none of that to me. I was just in the room with you. We grown folk, but okay.
Thinking she was out of earshot, Fifi voiced her feelings back in the workroom. only to get caught out by the sickening mirror reveal.
But if you're gonna be loud and rowdy and think you're a bowdy bitch, stand up and be one. Look, girl, don't be weak sauce.
After a tense exchange, the pair superficially made up. But this awkward moment after Alyssa eliminated Fifi showed that Fifi still held a grudge.
It's okay. Bye. Oh, love you. Mwah. Oh my God.
Number 16, the Vixen versus Aquaria.
Doesn't matter how much I like you, if you set yourself up, I'ma hit you.
The Vixen took issue with Aquaria's comments about her in the workroom and brought up her feelings about the issue during an episode of Untucked. Aquaria defended herself and her choices, choosing to turn the argument around on the Vixen by pointing out her negative attitude.
When you come for me and I come for you back and you say, oh, you're so negative, I was chilling.
This, of course, only made things worse, and things continued to escalate until Aquaria, overcome with emotion, began to cry.
That's something I
This merely set the Vixen off even more as she felt that Aquaria's narrative unfairly boxed her into the, quote, angry black woman stereotype.
You say something, I say something, you start crying. You have created a narrative of I am an angry black woman who is scared off the little white girl.
I understand that narrative.
Doesn't matter how you do it.
Number 15, Bob the Drag Queen versus Derrick Barry.
Yeah, I didn't hear you get that. But
I did get told that my performance was phenomenal, which you didn't get told.
What queen on Drag Race hasn't thrown at least a bit of shade at their fellow contestants? At this point, we all know that nearly every one of the contestants on the show has had their fair share of snarky moments.
Well, I don't know if there was a point. It's just Bob talking is your point all the time.
But you'll do like side shitty comments and it's funny, but when I do side shitty comments, it's like over. Anyone else see this? Am I on Lonely Island? Am I on Staten Island?
So when Derrick claimed that she had never shaded the other girls on her season, Bob understandably called her out for her blatant lie.
I don't see that I do that.
I can't wait till you do it again. It'll be like 5 minutes.
Derrick proved Bob's point almost immediately by throwing a pointed comment about Bob's unique drag style, which prompted Bob to snap back with a zinger.
Hey, Bob, if I want to do ratchet drag next week, can you give me any tips?
If you want to do like memorable drag next week, I can give you some tips.
Number 14, Heidi in Closet versus Season 12.
The girls are just being so petty, messy, and just, girl, I need my personal space. The constant verbal assault on Aiden is starting to really piss me off.
Heidi left the rest of the group to focus all her energy on preparing for her lip sync, but she couldn't help but overhear the rest of the cast ganging up against Aiden for being safe.
Oh, you should be in the bottom. Oh, you should be in the bottom because of this. Oh, you should be in the bottom because of this. Focus on your damn self.
The other queens felt that Aiden didn't deserve to stay and called her out for her performance that week. Eventually, Heidi was fed up listening to the squabbling underway.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, okay? The bitch is safe, leave her alone. I'm gonna worry about Heidi right now, okay?
Heidi had enough of the noise and went off on the other queens for their bullying ways, and she stood up for Aiden at a time when none of the other girls would. Number 13, Vanessa Vanjie Mateo versus Yvie Oddly. During Drag Race, tensions are bound to run high as each queen fights their hardest to stay another round. So when Yvie accused Vanjie of telling Ru to send her home, we knew things were about to get ugly.
What you rolling your eyes for?
Because, like, that's really cute to say, but you were also the bitch who was like, well, I guess the one girl who I want to go home is Yvie because she fought me.
These two queens are powerhouses in their own right, and when they started going off at each other, it was a sight to behold.
You got defensive, and that's the only reason I pushed any buttons here in the first place.
Because, bitch, you started crying to me, talking about, oh, I'm so proud of you, and yada, yada, yada.
Of course, Vanjie defended herself from Yvie's words, but things only seemed to get worse. The other queen's reactions during the fight really said it all.
I was trying to be cordial with you.
I don't need cordial, bitch. I need real. I need real, and now I'm getting real.
Be consistent, bitch.
Consistent.
No, you're not.
I am being consistent.
No, you're not, bitch.
I am.
1 minute.
I'm being so consistent, bitch.
Number 12, Silky, Nutmeg, Ganache versus Yvie Oddly.
I'm gonna be very forward about exactly how I feel.
Okay.
Silky, I'm a little pissy that you, like, tried to throw me under the bus because I'm quote-unquote injured.
Who wouldn't get a bit riled up if they heard a fellow competitor talking behind their back? Things between Silky and Yvie really popped off in episode 7 of season 11, as soon as Yvie overheard Silky unfairly telling RuPaul that Yvie should leave the competition because of her sprained ankle.
I think Yvie should go home just because she's hurt and we got time for that.
Talk about adding insult to injury. The tension between the two remained pretty palpable throughout the season.
I'm in this competition not for your satisfaction.
Girl, and apparently not for the judges either.
What?
They also fought on Untucked when Yvie unfavorably compared Silky to Drag Race winner Sasha Velour, making Silky feel like Yvie implied she wasn't talented.
You think safe is gonna get you somewhere?
Sasha Velour was safe every week and won.
That's because Sasha Velour was talented.
Number 11, Tatianna versus Tyra Sanchez.
And then I said, Tyra. And so I said, Tyra, can you please stop singing? And you're like, what are you talking about? Giving me that, I don't know what you're talking about, but I know exactly what you're talking about face. I'm not dumb.
Tatianna put it best when she bluntly told Tyra, I don't like you.
If I don't like you, I don't like you.
And I don't like you. Are you happy?
Everything started to go downhill for Tyra's relationship with the other contestants during the bridal challenge, as her loud singing in the workroom annoyed the other queens and escalated tensions. Tatianna called Tyra out on stage in front of Ru and the other judges.
I don't think that you're seeing that Tyra is a complete bitch.
But things really started to get interesting once everyone entered Untucked. Tatianna took none of Tyra's excuses and managed to stay relatively calm as she called Tyra out for pretending like she didn't know better.
There isn't anything else to say.
But why are you talking?
Why are you talking?
Anyways,
thank you.
Back to what I was saying.
Number 10, Alyssa Edwards versus Jade Jolie. Making her third appearance on this list, it seems that wherever Alyssa Edwards goes, drama follows.
Jade, really, before you read yourself first.
Oh, honey, you act as if that you're just perfect and polished out of everyone, girl. I feel like I hear your voice everywhere.
As well as her old beef with Coco, Alyssa had a whole fresh one with Jade Jolie in season 5.
Jade, jealousy's a killer in this industry.
Baby, I ain't jealous of that, honey. I ain't jealous.
Bring it to the runway.
Honey, and I am.
Put your mouth where your fashion is.
It began with razor-sharp reads in the workroom and finally erupted into a full fight in Untucked. Alyssa called Jade out for coming for her appearance, and Jade called Alyssa out for acting nice when she was really a, quote, mean girl.
Girl, if I was quick to judge you, I'd judge you on that makeup. But girl, I could judge you on your lack of talent. You're a phony amateur,
girl.
girl.
To you, because you're a mean girl.
Amateur.
You're a mean girl.
Girl, you're a joke.
Alyssa then lived up to this label by shadily saying that she could read Jade for her, quote, lack of talent. Jade then went for the jugular, inadvertently blessing us with this iconic confessional cam reaction from Alyssa.
Girl, you had rolls all over the place in the back. It was disgusting.
Back rolls.
Number 9, Tatianna versus Raven. Tatianna and Raven threw a lot of shade in season 2. So it wasn't surprising when they clashed with each other so forcefully in the reunion episode.
Raven all of a sudden decides she wants to blossom verbally.
RuPaul stirred the pot by playing clips of Raven giving her opinions about the other queens, and she did not mince her words about Tatianna.
Tatianna is about face value. So you, Tatianna.
Tatianna was understandably fuming and let Raven have it.
You're jealous. You're insecure. No one that feels that great about themselves has to put others down the way that you do. I have had very negative feelings towards you since the end of that show.
She argued that while she talked trash about the other queens, she was never mean in the way that Raven was.
And I never said anything hurtful about you. I said that you run your mouth because you do.
Raven defended herself by explaining that she just gave her, quote, honest opinion when asked for it. Tatianna told Raven that though she was, quote, beautiful on the outside, her insides were, quote, dark and nasty. Ouch.
Your outside is gorgeous, Raven, but your insides are dark and nasty, and I don't like you.
Number 8, Raven and Alexis Mateo and everyone versus Mimi Imfurst. Mimi Imfurst had one of the most dramatic eliminations of all time when she competed on season 3, and her loud personality followed her into the first All-Stars.
I listen to you, and now you're gonna listen to me for 1 hot minute. This is my problem with it.
Act the fool, girl.
I'm here.
In the first episode of Untucked, Alexis Mateo brought up that she felt, quote, betrayed by Mimi taking over a club that she used to have a residency at, resulting in one of the most entertaining fights in Drag Race history.
I just don't think it's appropriate to talk about that had nothing to do with anything that's happened here.
Well, guess what, Mimi? We did.
Alexis told Mimi that she was, quote, acting a fool, and Raven questioned how Mimi had won the popular vote to return when she didn't have enough fans.
Mimi, I'm first, was number 3rd in the voting. I could not believe it. Out of all 50 bitches...
Do not attack my fans, bitch.
Of the that I've seen, you don't have that many.
Cue Yara's perfectly timed scathing insult.
Because they need someone to go home first.
And in the middle of it all, Tammy Brown was just, well, Tammy Brown.
Wait a minute, how do you not know what you're signing up for? You already did this, girl. Oh, well, come on, Teletubby. Teleport us to Mars.
What the Is this bitch for real?
Number 7, Everyone versus Laganja Estranja. Laganja Estranja is remembered for 2 things: her gag-worthy entrance and just being way too much.
It's a little too much. It's a little too forced.
Laganja was accused of making up a fake, over-the-top personality for season 6, and one that irritated both the judges and the rest of the contestants. After the Drag Queens of Comedy challenge, Bianca Del Rio tried to fact-check the stories Laganja had told her about her past that simply didn't add up.
Because frankly, you've been only doing drag for 2 years. I believe that you've come into this competition with an act.
For Bianca, this reaffirmed the belief that she and everyone else had, including Laganja's BFF, Adore Delano, that Laganja acted differently on and off camera.
This right now, that's the bitch that I know. I don't know, yes, mama.
When I'm with my best friends, I say yes, mama.
That ain't how you talk when I hang out with you when the cameras aren't here.
The other queens wanted her to drop the act and insisted they weren't attacking her. Laganja begged to differ.
How am I supposed to feel in this moment?
Laganja, I didn't want to make it that everybody was attacking you.
I feel very attacked.
Relax.
Number 6, Jiggly Caliente versus LaShawn Beyond. Sewing has been a contentious issue on Drag Race since the show started, with some queens being skilled seamstresses and others not seeing the point in crafting their own outfits.
I don't sew, but I make do with what I can.
Feeling burned after her post-apocalyptic couture didn't go down well on the runway, Jiggly Caliente argued that she was a non-sewer who did her best.
If you lacking one thing, somebody else ain't lacking, then shut the up.
LaShawn Beyond tried to shut down what she saw as excuses from Jiggly, which Jiggly denied she was making. Things escalated very quickly as their disagreement turned into a shouting match.
I'm not here to make best buddies, bitch. I'm not here to be your friend. Then shut the up, because you do a lot of talking. You've been everybody's BFF and No, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to win.
In the end, LaShawn made her intentions on the show crystal clear, with a line so endlessly quoted that it might as well be a Drag Race tagline by now.
This is not RuPaul's best friend, Greg.
Sherlock.
Number 5, Eureka versus the Vixen.
Do y'all hear me? I'm getting tired of hearing you talk, honestly. Can I go smoke?
During their season, both Eureka and the Vixen had their fair share of heated moments with the other contestants. But things came to a head when they went head-to-head with each other during a major Untucked confrontation.
You just want someone to fight with.
I don't need to fight with you. You are picking this fight right now.
Throughout season 10, it was pretty obvious that the Vixen and Eureka didn't jive together. But things took a nosedive when Eureka told the Vixen that she was too, quote, negative.
Can we please strike the word negative from the record, because it does something to me that I just cannot.
Immediately, tensions skyrocketed, leading the Vixen to scream her now legendary line about Eureka's smoke break.
Go, and maybe, no, I'm not going. It's done.
Even during the reunion, it was obvious that the two had not patched things up, as the Vixen stormed off the set after feeling unfairly confronted about her fight with Eureka. Number 4, Alyssa Edwards versus Coco Montrese. Most Drag Race rivalries are born on the show. Alyssa Edwards and Coco Montrese, however, brought a lot more baggage to season 5 than just a suitcase full of gowns.
Why did you write on your Facebook, Alyssa shouldn't have won in the first place? Do you feel like that was a hit below the belt?
The resentment was there from the moment the two queens locked eyes in the workroom.
And the Academy Award goes to you, Alyssa.
Coco explained that their relationship broke down after she filled in for Alyssa after Alyssa was crowned Miss Gay USA. The ex-friends then tried to hash it out, arguing over who had it worse, Alyssa for being dethroned, or Coco for having to embarrassingly complete another queen's reign.
Girl, look how orange you look, girl. You're used to being my runner-up and being behind me. Don't switch the game up now, mama.
After reaching an emotional climax, the fight was unresolved. And we knew it wouldn't be long until the tension boiled over again.
Now you pushed it.
Miss Coco, you're taking it personal. I'm joking.
Oh, now I'm not joking, bitch. You gonna call me a runner-up? You ain't never won nothing.
By default, mama. You took that picture by default.
Number 3, Mystique versus Morgan McMichaels. We said there'd be no physical fights on this list, but Mystique and Morgan McMichaels came pretty damn close to a physical fight in Season 2's Untucked.
I don't start drama, I end it. You don't know what we're talking about.
After shots were fired in the Untucked lounge, Morgan told the other queens she wasn't going to put up with Mystique bad-mouthing her or anyone else.
If you're sick of it, quit paying attention. Honey, you're probably not sick of it because you want to listen to me. You're so goddamn loud, nobody can get a word in.
Mystique confronted Morgan, saying she didn't know what she was talking about, to which Morgan answered that she was sick of hearing Mystique complaining loudly all day.
I have no issue with what you two are talking about. Okay, but then she's in my mug, in my space. She has been all day. How, bitch? I was never around your ass. You're throwing dust in the room. You're so rude and disrespectful. You have no manners.
The insults became personal and the gap between them got smaller. And when Morgan didn't take Mystique's butt-whooping threats seriously, Mystique had just one thing to say to her. The lesson? Don't come for a Chicago queen.
I will whoop your ass. Bitch, I am from Chicago. I don't gotta hit your ass to probably get voted off, bitch. Hit me. Do it. Walk off. Do it. Step off, bitch. You better step off. With you.
Number 2, Sharon Needles versus Fifi O'Hara. These frenemies made no secret of their feelings towards one another throughout Season 4. They even performed a musical number about it. In the 3rd episode, team leader Fifi instructed Sharon to do her spooky shtick for the infomercial challenge, for which Sharon took home a win.
So congratulations, you're welcome, because I was the one that sat there and picked that out for you.
Feeling as though Fifi was pigeonholing her drag, Sharon confronted Fifi about it the next week, but was met with hostility when Fifi pointed out that she'd won regardless.
Sharon, you know what? You are not even on the same level as me, so get the out of my face.
Because
get the out of my face.
That's because
you've
won nothing.
Go back and do your only one look that you got.
Their quiet chat became a screaming match featuring this brilliant exchange.
Oh, I have one look? Tired-ass showgirl.
Showgirl, at least I am a showgirl, bitch. Go back to Party City where you belong.
I'm the future of drag. You look 20 years ago.
Oh, girl, please.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Shangela versus Imfurst. Get your popcorn ready for this one. In the Untucked lounge, the queens laid into Imfurst's look for the Queens in Space runway.
Yours was thrown together. Those eyes just glued onto that costume. What is the tea?
And your fishnets are
That's
ripped.
not from Future. Your fishnets are ripped all over the place.
They were on the runway, girl.
Yes, they were.
Mimi clapped back that her futuristic drag had been the most, quote, creative, while most of the other queens looked too similar to stand out.
Out of the runway, who had the most creative idea on the entire night? Because there were 5,000 Judy Jetson hookers out there.
Oh, wait a minute.
Shangela came for Mimi especially hard, pointing out the flaws in her outfit and stating that she didn't think Mimi, a camp comedy queen, could ever be glamorous.
You'll never be glamour.
Boo, just because you got a sugar daddy who pays for everything for you.
Oh.
Mimi then made the mistake of accusing Shangela of having a sugar daddy to pay for everything she had. This brought the fight to a tense standstill. We were on tenterhooks for Shangela's response, and it did not disappoint.
I've never had a sugar daddy. If I wanted a sugar daddy, yes, I probably could go out and get one because I am what? Sickening. You could never have a sugar daddy because you are not that kind of girl. Baby, everything I've had, I've worked for and I've gotten myself. I built myself from the ground up. No.
Man, if only I could ever come up with a comeback that perfect. Anyway, which of the fights on RuPaul's Drag Race makes you live for the drama? Be sure to let us know about it in the comments, or come tell me on Twitter or Instagram at Rebecca Brayton, or on my YouTube channel. Now, if you'll excuse me, I will be going back to Party City where I belong.